الخاص الذي نستضيف فيه وزير الخارجية الأرميني السيد أرارات ميرزويان. سيد ميرزويان، أهلا بك في قناة الجزيرة.
Hello, it's a pleasure for me.
مرحبا، يسرني أن أكون معكم.
نبدأ مباشرة من العلاقة مع أذربيجان. كيف هي الآن بعد طي صفحة ناغورنو كاراباخ؟
Well, you probably know that we are engaged in a peace process with Azerbaijan, and we truly believe, with the Armenian side, we truly believe that there is a real momentum for establishment of lasting peace in our region, based on certain principles. For instance, the mutual recognition of territorial integrity. Prime Minister of Armenia and President of Azerbaijan have publicly reconfirmed several times that the mutual recognition of the territorial integrity between the countries should take place based on 1991 Almaty Declaration, and the further delimitation process of the border between the two countries also should take place on the basis of Almaty Declaration. So to put the long story short, this is basically a document which was signed by former 11 Soviet Union socialist republics in 1991, and in this document, these republics, they stated that the former administrative borders between the socialist republics now on, they are recognized as internationally recognized borders between the independent already countries. So basically we have the border and the mutual recognition of territorial integrity and delimitation based on this Almaty Declaration. This means that the borders that existed in 1991, they should be reproduced on the ground now. And interestingly, just recently, the heads of the respective border commissions of the two countries, and at the same time, deputy prime ministers of the two countries, they came to an agreement that the delimitation should take place according to this Almaty Declaration, and the regulation, the rules of procedures of the process of delimitation also should refer to this Almaty Declaration. So this is one of the principles, and if we succeed to have the reference to the Almaty Declaration as a political basis for delimitation and as a political basis for mutual recognition of the territorial integrity in the draft of peace treaty over which we negotiate, then we could say that we are very, very, very close to a final settlement.
هل هناك ما يعرقل إتمام هذه الإجراءات من ترسيم للحدود وباقي المبادئ التي جرى الاتفاق عليها؟ هل هناك ما يعرقل اكتمالها حتى تصل إلى مرحلة العلاقات الكاملة والتطبيع الكامل مع باكو؟
The problem is that despite the fact that our leaders for numerous times they reconfirmed the mutual recognition of territorial integrity based on the Almaty Declaration, which I just mentioned, we see that our neighbors are still reluctant to make a concrete and strong reference to Almaty Declaration in the draft of peace treaty. A more comprehensive document which is going to be signed by the two countries. So as I said, as soon as we come to an agreement on this issue in the context of peace agreement, we will get very close. There are, of course, a couple of other questions, other issues. For instance, the unblocking of regional transport infrastructure, which is also being discussed. So we are not only ready, but we are very much interested in becoming part of international transit. So in the context of unblocking the regional transport communications and infrastructure, it is important to note that Armenia is not only ready, but is interested to become a part of international transit routes and new logistic routes. That's why our government came up with an initiative. We gave a title to it, Crossroads of Peace, because we believe that if this unblocking takes place, it will not only be beneficial in terms of economic prosperity for the countries in the region, but also will become a significant factor of peace in the region. So we're ready to unblock all regional transport infrastructures, mainly with Azerbaijan, but also with Turkey, understanding that this project, Crossroads of Peace, will come to help to connect east to west, but also north to south. And if this is implemented, this would be another interesting way also to connect Gulf countries with Black Sea economic region. According to this concept, the unblocking should take place with the full respect of sovereignty and national jurisdiction of the countries, but also according to the principles of equality and reciprocity.
ما الذي تقوم يريفان في هذه المرحلة بمراجعته على صعيد علاقاتها وتحالفاتها وانتماءاتها أيضاً إلى تكتلات إقليمية أو دولية معينة؟ في هذا المسار تحديداً، ما المطروح في مسألة الانضمام للاتحاد الأوروبي وحلف الناتو؟
You know that during recent couple of years, there were several invasions into sovereign territory of Republic of Armenia. And we are a member of CSTO, Collective Security Treaty Organization, which mission of which is to protect the sovereign territories and the borders of the member states. So when we had these invasions, we did not see the proper reaction from the organization in which we are. We should also remember that the CSTO is a political military alliance, which, as I said, is called to protect the borders of the member states. So this absence of the proper reaction, which I mentioned, raised several questions in the Armenian society. And we don't want to be part of a mechanism that does not work. So we are still a member of this Collective Security Treaty Organization, but we should work on making sure that all the mechanisms which are prescribed, they work when there is a need for them.
بالتالي ذلك يفرض علاقة مختلفة مع روسيا الآن؟
There are some issues, some questions in the context of Armenian-Russian relations. Yes, we have a dialogue over these issues. There are, among them, there are issues on which we do not have mutual, complete understanding, but I believe there are issues in all the relations, but also in regard with the democratic reform agenda and also making sure that we have a proper level of stability along the border between Armenia and Azerbaijan. We are in the middle of process of deepening our relations with some other countries, with the European Union, with the United States of America. They have been our main partners in terms of democratic reform, but also economic diversification, etc. And now we should also emphasize that it's already 2 years that the presence of European civilian mission, the monitoring mission along the Armenian-Azerbaijani border is one of the significant factors of stability of this situation.
غزة سيد ميرزويان، الحرب الإسرائيلية على قطاع غزة مستمرة منذ نحو 7 أشهر الآن. كيف تتابع يريفان ما تخلفه هذه الحرب؟
Well, of course, we're strongly against targeting and violations of civilians. We have faced a similar situation in Nagorno-Karabakh when more than 100,000 Armenians had to flee their ancestral homeland to save lives of their family members. So we are really strongly against targeting civilian population. Just recently, we sent some humanitarian assistance to help to ease the situation and suffering of people who found themselves in a similar situation. But in general, we have always been supporting the peaceful resolution of the conflict, but also the two-state solution for the long-standing conflict and the Palestinian issue. But not only that, we are ready to help to preserve cultural and spiritual heritage. In particular, when it comes to written heritage, we have a very famous and world-known depository for manuscripts, so we can temporarily host, if there is a need, host the manuscripts from the conflict zone, preserve them, and then return when everything is settled.
سيد ميرزويان، إنكم قدمتم مساعدات، لكن ماذا عما تراه يريفان الآن من طرح ملائم لوقف هذه الحرب؟ وهل تناقشون ذلك ضمن مجموعات أو تكتلات معينة دولية؟
Well, we're lobbying for peaceful settlement and end of hostilities, and if official Yerevan can be of help in this context, we're more than ready.
سيد أرارات ميرزويان وزير الخارجية الأرميني، شكرا جزيلا لكم على هذه المشاركة في هذا اللقاء. وبهذا وصلنا لختام هذا اللقاء الخاص من قناة الجزيرة. شكرا لمتابعتكم، إلى اللقاء.